As we grow older, our homes become reflections of the lives we've led. Every item, from family heirlooms to trinkets picked up on a whim, has a story. But over time, these cherished possessions can begin to accumulate, and what once felt cozy can start to feel overwhelming. If you're like many seniors who want a home that feels more serene and less chaotic, let's take a thoughtful journey through some common culprits of clutter, and more importantly, how to tackle them in a way that respects your memories while creating a more organized and uplifting space. Number 1. Outdated paperwork. The paper piles. Bills, receipts, medical documents, and even old birthday cards can stack up over the years. Many seniors I've spoken to share how they've held on to papers just in case. The result? Drawers, desks, and countertops buried in clutter. Instead, you can invest in a simple filing system with clearly labelled folders. Dedicate a few hours to sorting through old documents. Keep essentials like legal papers, insurance documents, and recent medical records. For everything else, consider scanning them onto a USB drive or cloud storage. For instance, one gentleman I knew, named Harold, made a ritual of shredding unnecessary papers weekly while listening to his favourite jazz records. It turned decluttering into a pleasant routine. Additionally, you can set up a mail management system near your entryway to prevent future build-up. A small basket or tray can hold incoming mail until you're ready to sort through it. Number 2. Unused or duplicate kitchen items. The kitchen often becomes a clutter hotpot, especially if you've collected cookware, gadgets, and utensils over decades. You might have 3 potato peelers, chipped mugs you never use, or a bread machine gathering dust. Consider keeping only what you use regularly. A friend of mine, named Margaret, decided to keep her favourite ceramic mugs and donated the rest to a local charity. She realised that she only used her good pans and didn't need the 10 others lurking in the cupboard. Simplifying your kitchen tools can make cooking more enjoyable and your counters clearer. Consider organising your items by frequency of use. Store seasonal or rarely used appliances, like turkey roasters or ice cream makers, in less accessible cabinets to free up daily workspaces. Number 3. Inherited furniture and decor. Heirlooms are a tricky subject. Maybe you inherited your parents' ornate china cabinet or Aunt Gladys's floral love seat, and you've kept them out of a sense of obligation. If these items don't bring you joy or fit your current space, they can make your home feel cramped. Reframe your relationship with these items. It's okay to let go. One woman shared how she photographed her grandmother's rocking chair before gifting it to her niece, who had the space to appreciate it. She kept the memory without keeping the chair. Alternatively, consider repurposing heirlooms. For instance, turn vintage linens into throw pillows or quilts so their sentimental value is preserved in a way that fits your lifestyle. 4. Overcrowded bookshelves. Books are treasures, but even the most avid readers can admit to keeping titles they'll never revisit. Overloaded bookshelves can make a room feel chaotic rather than cozy. Select books that genuinely resonate with you and donate the rest to libraries, schools, or book swaps. A retired teacher I know, named Anne, turned her decluttering project into a way to pass on knowledge, gifting her collection of history books to a local school's library. Now, her shelves display books she loves alongside cherished photos and plants. You can also add decorative storage baskets on lower shelves to hold miscellaneous items, keeping the space both functional and stylish. 5. Decor that no longer reflects you. Trends change, and so do personal tastes. That collection of figurines you once adored might now feel more like a dust collector, or maybe your walls are covered in art that doesn't inspire you anymore. Take a fresh look at your decor. If it doesn't make you smile, then it might be time to let it go. Replace it with something that sparks joy, like a framed photo of your family or a vibrant piece of art you picked up on a recent trip. One couple I met transformed their living room by removing heavy drapes and swapping dated paintings for a large, colourful tapestry they fell in love with during their travels. Minimalist shelving or display cabinets can also help showcase the decor you truly love without overcrowding your space. 6. Overstocked closets. Closets are notorious for harbouring clutter. Clothes from decades ago, shoes you haven't worn in years, and purses you forgot you owned can take up precious space. You could try the 1-year rule. If you haven't worn it in the past year, it's time to donate or discard it. My neighbour Joan made this process more enjoyable by hosting a clothing swap with friends, turning decluttering into a social event. She kept her favourites and found joy in seeing her unworn pieces get a new life. For sentimental clothing, like a wedding dress or a favourite sweater from years ago, consider having it professionally preserved or turned into a keepsake, like a pillow or framed textile. 7. Sentimental items without a purpose. It's easy to accumulate items for their sentimental value. Your child's old school projects, trophies, or mementos from past vacations. These pieces hold memories but can take over precious space. Consider creative ways to honour these items without keeping them all. Scan and digitize old photos or letters and create a scrapbook or memory box for smaller keepsakes. One grandfather I know created a memory wall with a rotating selection of framed items. It allowed him to enjoy his treasures without overwhelming his space. Another idea is to create digital slideshows that can be displayed on a digital photo frame, offering a modern way to celebrate memories. 8. Too much furniture. Sometimes we keep furniture simply because we've always had it. However, too many pieces can make a room feel crowded and hard to navigate, especially if mobility becomes a concern. Consider evaluating each piece for its utility and comfort. A senior couple I once met decided to replace their bulky sectional sofa with a sleek, comfortable love seat and a recliner. It opened up their living room, making it easier to move around and creating a more inviting atmosphere. Consider multi-purpose furniture, like ottomans with hidden storage, to maximize functionality without adding clutter. 9. Neglected storage spaces. Basements, attics, and garages are often the last places to get attention. These spaces can become dumping grounds for things you no longer need but haven't taken the time to sort through. You can dedicate a weekend to tackling these areas. Break it into manageable chunks, one box or shelf at a time. Enlist help if needed. Turning it into a family project can lighten the load. One widower, named Tom, shared how his children helped him clear out his garage, turning up forgotten treasures like an old toolbox that became a family keepsake. Use clear bins and labels to organize what remains, making it easier to find items in the future. 10. Neglected maintenance items. Sometimes clutter isn't just about items, it's about deferred maintenance. Broken appliances, tangled cords, and neglected corners can add to the feeling of disarray. You can address one maintenance task at a time, fix what you can, recycle old electronics, and hide cords with simple organizers. A retired engineer set a goal to complete one repair project each weekend. His home not only became more functional, but also brought him a renewed sense of pride. Routine maintenance can be less daunting if you create a checklist and spread tasks out over the year. 11. Expired medications and toiletries. Bathrooms often become cluttered with expired medications, half-used beauty products, and toiletries bought in bulk. These can not only make storage areas chaotic, but also pose safety risks. Regularly go through your medicine cabinet and discard expired items safely. Many pharmacies offer medication disposal services. Consolidate toiletries into smaller, labelled containers to reduce bulk. A friend of mine, named Lily, organised her bathroom with clear bins and drawer dividers, making it easier to find what she needed. Now her counters are clear, and the bathroom feels like a spa. 12. Old technology and cords. From old flip phones to mystery cables, outdated technology can pile up in drawers and closets, taking up valuable space. Consider recycling electronics at designated e-waste facilities. Keep only the chargers and cords you use and label them for easy identification. One retiree named Paul created a small tech station in a decorative box where he stored only his essential gadgets and accessories. This simple step freed up drawers and eliminated the frustration of tangled wires. 13. Unorganized craft or hobby supplies. Many seniors enjoy hobbies like knitting, painting or woodworking, but the supplies for these activities can easily become disorganized. Dedicate a specific space for your hobby items using storage bins or shelving units. One creative senior named Nancy repurposed an old dresser into a craft station, with each drawer labelled for different materials. Keeping supplies in one place made her projects more enjoyable and her home less cluttered. 14. Overcrowded sentimental displays. While it's lovely to showcase family photos, souvenirs, and trophies, too many items in one place can overwhelm the eye and diminish their impact. Consider rotating your displays. Highlight a few favorite pieces at a time and store the rest safely. Seasonal rotations can keep things fresh. My neighbour David swapped out his travel souvenirs quarterly, making his living room feel new every few months without adding clutter. A curated display lets each item shine and keeps your home feeling tidy. 15. Unfinished projects. Sometimes clutter comes in the form of projects that were started with enthusiasm but never completed. This could be a half-painted room, an abandoned puzzle, or a DIY project left in limbo. These unfinished endeavours can weigh on your mind and take up space. Assess each project honestly. Ask yourself if it's worth finishing or if it's time to let it go. If you still want to complete it, set a realistic deadline and allocate specific time to work on it. One retiree, named Linda, described how she had a quilt she started years ago, but never finished. She joined a local sewing group to regain motivation and finally completed it within a few months. For projects you no longer care about, consider donating materials or disposing of them responsibly. 16. Items you're saving, just in case. Many of us hold on to items because we might need them someday, from empty jars to stacks of old magazines. Over time, these just-in-case items can accumulate, creating unnecessary clutter. Evaluate whether these items have a realistic purpose. If you haven't used them in the past year, it's likely time to part with them. A retired handyman I know, named George, had a garage full of scrap wood he intended to use for future projects. Realizing he'd only used a small portion in years, he donated the wood to a local community workshop, freeing up space and helping others. Setting limits, like designating a single bin for such items, can also keep this type of clutter under control. 17. Unused outdoor equipment. Over the years, many of us accumulate outdoor gear like old lawn chairs, broken gardening tools, or sports equipment we no longer use. These items can clutter sheds, garages, and patios, making outdoor spaces feel disorganized. Assess your outdoor items seasonally. Donate or recycle anything you haven't used in the past 2 years. A retired couple I know, Bob and Sally, hosted a yard swap where neighbours exchanged outdoor gear. It was a fun way to declutter while building community. For items you do keep, invest in weatherproof storage bins or a small shed to keep everything neat and protected. 18. Overfilled junk drawers. Every home has at least one junk drawer filled with miscellaneous items like rubber bands, old keys, expired coupons, and batteries. While it seems small, an overflowing junk drawer can contribute to the overall feeling of disorganization. Dump out the contents and sort through them. Discard trash, relocate items to their proper places, and use small dividers to organize what's left. A retired teacher I met, named Carol, found joy in labeling small sections of her drawer for specific items like tools, stationery, and spare change. Now her junk drawer feels more like a mini utility station. 19. Unused holiday decorations. Holiday decorations bring joy, but keeping every ornament, light strand, and seasonal wreath from decades past can create storage headaches. Often, older decorations are worn out or no longer match your current taste. Consider sorting through your holiday decor with a critical eye. Keep only the pieces that truly bring you joy or have significant sentimental value. Donate the rest to local thrift stores or community centres. One senior I spoke to, named Helen, downsized her holiday collection by gifting ornaments to her grandchildren, ensuring her cherished pieces would still be appreciated. Storing decorations in labelled stackable bins can make them easy to find and preserve for years to come. Decluttering doesn't mean erasing your past. It means curating your space to reflect who you are today. Start small, tackle one area at a time, and celebrate your progress. Your home should be your sanctuary, a place that brings you peace and happiness. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's creating a space where you feel your best. You've earned that. So, what's your first step? Pick one area that's been bothering you and dive in. You've got this. Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found the video helpful, consider giving it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos. Thank you for watching.